You know, someone once told me I am too soft. People walk all over me. I smiled and said, there is nothing wrong with being soft. The problem is being unprotected soft. Even a flower has thorns. Not to harm others, but to protect its own beauty. My dear friends in life, softness is a gift, but the world respects those who combine softness with strength, kindness with clarity, gentleness with courage. Sometimes in life, people believe that being soft is a weakness. They think that if you are gentle, you will be taken advantage of, misunderstood, or ignored. But softness is not the problem. The real issue is when softness is not supported by clarity, by courage, and by inner strength. A flower is soft too, but it still survives storms because it has deep roots and protective thorns. In the same way, you don't need to stop being a soft woman. You only need to stop being a woman without boundaries, without direction, without self-respect. Many people confuse strength with aggression. They think that being strong means raising your voice, arguing, proving points, or dominating others. But true strength is something entirely different. It is quiet, steady, calm, and graceful. Strength is when you remain kind even when the world is unkind. Strength is when you speak softly but stand firmly. Strength is when you choose wisdom over impulsiveness and purpose over pressure. When you gain this clarity, you naturally become fearless, not because nothing scares you, but because you refuse to be controlled by fear. Every day, life gives you countless opportunities to choose between pleasing others and respecting yourself. And not everyone will like it when you start choosing yourself. But remember, even your phone shuts down when it's overloaded. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't support others if you are drained from within. Learning to say no is not something harsh, it is something intelligent. It is a sign that you value your time, your energy, your peace. When you stop saying yes out of guilt or fear, you start living from a space of dignity and self-worth. There will always be moments when emotions rise like wave, anger, sadness, disappointment, confusion. Feeling emotions is not wrong, it's part of being human. But letting emotions drive your decisions can become harmful. A strong woman does not ignore her feelings. She observes them, understands them, and responds with maturity. She does not react instantly. She breathes, pauses, reflects, and then chooses wisely. This is what makes her fearless. Her ability to stay centered when everything around her is trying to pull her off balance. Fearlessness doesn't come from pretending to be tough. It comes from having a purpose greater than your excuses. When you know why you are living, why you are growing, why you are trying, then people's opinions become background noise. Failures don't stop you, they shape you. Challenges don't break you, they train you. You begin to realize that you were not sent to this world to shrink, to hide, or to play small. You were sent here to rise, to contribute, and to live with intention. So don't give up your softness. It's one of your greatest strengths. Just combine it with courage, combine it with clarity, combine it with self-respect. When kindness is guarded by confidence, when compassion is supported by boundaries, and when gentleness is guided by purpose, you become unstoppable. You become a woman who is not just soft or strong. You become complete. There is a beautiful strength within every woman, but often life teaches her to doubt it. People may say, "You're too emotional, too sensitive, too soft." And slowly, without noticing, she begins to believe that her softness is a flaw. But the truth is completely different. Softness is not a weakness, it is a profound strength. It means you feel deeply, care genuinely, and understand compassion in a way that hard-hearted people never will. The real challenge is not to stop being soft, but to learn how to protect that softness so the world does not misuse it. When a woman does not realize her worth, she lets everyone's expectations shape her life. She tries to please everyone, fulfill every request, tolerate every mistake, and absorb every wound quietly. But even the most beautiful river can dry up if too many people draw from it without giving anything back. In the same way, you cannot keep giving endlessly without taking care of your inner world. You deserve respect, peace, and emotional space, and the moment you understand that, you stop allowing people to walk over your softness. Strength doesn't always look powerful from the outside. Sometimes strength looks like sitting calmly when you want to shout. Sometimes it looks like letting go instead of holding on. Sometimes it looks like saying no, even when guilt tries to hold you back. A strong woman doesn't force her presence. She carries it quietly. She doesn't try to impress. She tries to grow. She doesn't chase validation. She chooses self-respect. Her courage is in her consistency, her resilience, and her willingness to rise after every fall. Life will always test your emotional balance. Someone may misunderstand you, someone may judge you, someone may break your trust. But these moments are not meant to harden you. They are meant to strengthen you. Each challenge whispers the same message. You cannot control what happens, but you can control how you respond. A fearless woman is not one who never faces pain. She is one who refuses to let pain define her. She allows herself to feel, but she does not allow feelings to control her choices. Purpose plays an important role in becoming strong. When you have a purpose, you stop living reactively and start living intentionally. You stop wasting time on things that drain you. You stop expecting from people who cannot give. You stop fearing opinions that don't matter. With purpose, you walk differently, speak differently, and think differently. Your energy becomes focused, and your decisions become disciplined. Softness guided by purpose becomes grace. Kindness grounded in boundaries becomes wisdom. And when a woman embraces this balance, she becomes unshakable. She doesn't need to shout her power. Her presence speaks it. She doesn't need to fight for attention. Her actions earn respect naturally. So remain soft, but become soft with strength, soft with clarity, soft with courage. The world needs your gentleness, but it also needs your confidence. When you combine both, you become a force that not only survives but inspires. Life has a very interesting way of teaching lessons. Sometimes it whispers, sometimes it pushes, and sometimes it breaks you just enough so you can rebuild yourself stronger. Many women go through life believing that if they stay soft, people will automatically treat them gently. But softness without self-awareness becomes vulnerability, and vulnerability without boundaries becomes exhaustion. The journey is not about abandoning softness. It's about strengthening the foundation on which your softness stands. People often assume that being strong means becoming emotionless or harsh, but that's never the real definition of strength. True strength is deeply connected with understanding yourself. It begins when you recognize your patterns, how you react, how you think, how you absorb things. Many women carry emotional weight that doesn't even belong to them. They take responsibility for others' mistakes. They apologize for others' behavior, and they stay quiet to maintain peace even when they are hurting inside. But silence that suffocates you is not peace. It is fear disguised as calm. Strength grows when you stop confusing tolerance with love. It grows when you stop excusing disrespect simply because you care. It grows when you understand that protecting your heart is not selfish. It is necessary. If your heart breaks every day just to keep someone else comfortable, that is not softness. That is self-neglect. Real softness is gentle, but it is not blind. It can love deeply, but it can also walk away gracefully when something is destroying its peace. Life will always give you two options, shrink or grow. Many times, shrinking seems easier. We stay quiet, we avoid confrontations, we compromise too much. But every time you shrink, a part of you feels smaller, weaker, less confident. Growth, on the other hand, is uncomfortable. It demands courage. It requires questioning old habits, letting go of unhealthy attachments, and standing firm even when your voice trembles. But the reward is priceless: a stronger version of yourself, a clearer mind, and a heart that no longer breaks at every touch. Fearlessness doesn't mean you never feel afraid. It means you don't let fear shape your decisions. You acknowledge the fear, feel it, breathe through it, and still move forward. It means choosing what is right for you even when people don't agree. It means trusting that your worth is not defined by someone's approval or validation. Once you realize that, you stop allowing others to write your story. You begin to hold the pen in your own hand. A woman who understands her value becomes unstoppable, not because she becomes harder, but because she becomes wiser. She listens without absorbing negativity. She helps without draining herself. She gives love without losing self-respect. She speaks kindly but firmly. She walks with humility but also with confidence. So don't stop being soft. Just stop being unguarded. Don't stop caring. Just stop carrying what isn't yours. Don't stop loving. Just stop losing yourself in the process. When softness gains strength, it becomes power. And when a woman discovers that power, she doesn't just change her life. She inspires others to rise as well. There comes a moment in every woman's life when she realizes she can no longer live according to the expectations of others. She can no longer shrink herself to fit into small spaces just to keep everyone else comfortable. She can no longer tolerate behaviors that drain her. This moment is powerful because it marks the beginning of self-respect. It marks the transition from simply being soft to becoming soft with strength, soft with awareness, and soft with dignity. Softness means you feel deeply. It means your heart is open and your nature is gentle. But when you don't protect this softness, people can mistake it for weakness. They may push boundaries, take advantage of your patience, or assume you will always accept whatever they do. Over time, this can leave you exhausted, confused, and emotionally tired. But life is always nudging you, whispering, you deserve better, you deserve peace, you deserve strength. A strong woman is not someone who stops feeling. She is someone who learns to rise above her feelings when needed. She knows that emotions are real but not always reliable. She learns to pause before reacting, because she understands that a calm mind makes stronger decisions than an emotional one. This isn't suppression, it's wisdom. It's the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. One of the biggest sources of strength is clarity. When you are clear about what you want, what you value, and what you will not accept, your life becomes simpler. You no longer waste energy on people who drain you. You no longer chase approval from those who don't understand your worth. Clarity helps you walk away from what hurts and move toward what heals. It gives you the courage to say no without guilt and yes without fear. Life becomes easier when you stop trying to control how others treat you and focus instead on how you treat yourself. The world will always have opinions, judgments, and expectations. If you try to satisfy everyone, you end up losing yourself. But when you treat yourself with kindness and respect, something beautiful happens. Your energy changes. People start treating you differently because you treat yourself differently. Strength also grows when you stop carrying emotional burdens that aren't yours. Not every argument needs your participation, not every comment deserves your reaction, and not every relationship needs to be saved. Sometimes stepping back is a sign of maturity. Sometimes letting go is a form of self-love. Sometimes silence is more powerful than words. A fearless woman does not live without challenges. She simply refuses to let challenges define her. She keeps moving, even when the path feels uncertain. She keeps believing, even when life tests her. She keeps growing, even when change feels uncomfortable. Her courage comes from knowing that every storm she survives makes her stronger, wiser, and more grounded. So remain soft, but be soft with boundaries, be soft with purpose, be soft with strength. When a woman discovers this balance, she becomes unshakable. She becomes a light for herself and an inspiration for others. She doesn't need to roar to prove her power. Her presence itself becomes powerful. Life has a gentle way of reminding you who you truly are, sometimes through meaningful experiences and sometimes through painful ones. But each moment carries a message. You are not meant to live small. You are not meant to hide your voice or shrink your confidence just to keep the peace. You were created with softness, yes, but also with an inner strength that is waiting to be awakened. The world often tells women, be soft, be nice, be adjusting, but it forgets to add, be wise, be confident, be courageous. And when softness is not supported by strength, it becomes an invitation for others to cross boundaries. Softness is a blessing. It means your heart feels, your soul cares, and your nature is gentle. But gentleness without awareness can lead to emotional exhaustion. Many women give endlessly, love, time, attention, without noticing how empty they are becoming inside. They carry everyone's emotions, solve everyone's problems, absorb everyone's mistakes. But even the ocean has limits. Even the sunrise comes with a pause. You too need space to breathe, recharge, and realign your life with your well-being. A strong woman doesn't stop being kind. She simply learns to direct her kindness wisely. She knows when to give and when to protect her energy. She knows when to speak and when silence is more powerful. She learns that strength is not in raising her voice, but in raising her standards. It's not in fighting battles unnecessarily, but in choosing which battles deserve her involvement. This is the kind of strength that transforms softness into dignity. Life will present moments when you feel overwhelmed by emotions. It might be someone's harsh words, someone's broken promise, or simply the weight of expectations you never agreed to carry. In those moments, it's natural to feel hurt. But you don't have to stay there. A strong woman acknowledges her emotions, but does not drown in them. She gives herself permission to feel, but not permission to fall apart endlessly. She reminds herself that feelings are temporary, but her worth is permanent. Fearlessness is not about being unafraid. It's about choosing to move forward even when your heart is trembling. It's about trusting that you are capable of handling more than you think. When you stop letting fear decide your choices, something shifts inside you. You start walking with more purpose. You stop apologizing for your existence. You stop allowing people to take more from you than you can afford to give. You begin to honor yourself. There is a unique calmness in a woman who knows her worth. She doesn't chase validation. She doesn't seek approval. She doesn't lose herself in trying to keep people who don't value her. Instead, she stands tall in who she is. Her softness becomes graceful, and her strength becomes silent but powerful. So don't let the world convince you to abandon your softness. Instead, strengthen it. Support it with boundaries, with clarity, with confidence. When a woman becomes soft yet strong, gentle yet grounded, loving yet wise, she becomes unstoppable. She becomes a source of inspiration, a presence of peace, and a reminder that true strength does not scream. It simply shines. So, my dear friends, don't stop being soft, just stop being unprotected soft. Add boundaries to your kindness, add courage to your compassion, add purpose to your life, and remember, a fearless woman is not created by the world, she is created by her choices. Be gentle, be strong, be brave, and most importantly, become the woman you were always meant to be.